Outside the Beltway with John Fredericks. Talking to Americans outside of Washington, in the heartland, in our cities, and in our communities. About what matters to them. Outside the Beltway with John Fredericks starts now.
Okay, we're back. John Fredericks Media Network, live in Indy and Indianapolis. Got a full house coming in. 888-480. John, you want to weigh in? 888-480-5646. 888-480-5646. Let's put this back up in the Chiron. I want this guy's name on the whole time, Tyler. So put this right up. Senator Ryan Mishler, 800-382-9467. 800-382-9467. Call his office and tell him to get his ass here back to vote. I'm absolutely infuriated. After all this work that we've done, we can't get to 23 to get to 25 because we got somebody going to a Florida vacation. Get on a plane right now. Get up here. Make your vote. Go back. Merry Christmas. One day. That's all we're asking. You get paid for $365. I'm asking for one day. Unbelievable to me. This is unbelievable. We're trying to save America, and I get your son's got a basketball tournament. I get it. If you're the coach, have your assistant run the team a day. How many times do you think I did that coaching? Right? You got a life. Unbelievable. All right. We're going to get our guest in here, and then I got somebody at 7:15. We've got driving in Ken Colbert. He's and Cheryl Smith. Ken, you are what? I gotta get your mics on. Go ahead, Ken. And you wanna hold this up and speak into it?
Sure.
Go ahead.
All right, Ken Colbert, and my title is Republican in Bad Standing.
What does that mean?
That means we are very effective in exposing some of the rhinos within the Republican Party, is what that means.
So that's kind of an easy job. Here.
Well, yeah.
We've also got Cheryl Smith. You want to speak into that?
And I'm also a Republican in bad standing, and it's because, like he said, we hold them accountable, and they didn't like it, and so they said, "You're out of here for 5 years. You can't run for office."
They ban you for running for office?
Yes,
that's right.
Censured is the word, for 5 years.
When we really think some of the people that are not standing up to this redistricting, they ought to be Republicans in bad standing.
That's right.
Unbelievable. So
right.
You guys are censored.
Yeah.
So that's Ken and Cheryl and Brian Peace, your Indiana Freedom Caucus chairman.
Yes, I met Ken and Cheryl. We met in Evansville, Indiana, putting together a couple other grassroots groups that we got a little frustrated with those and decided, you know what, we need to make our own. We need to gather our own like-minded people that agree with the President's America First agenda and deal with these, foot-dragging alleged Republicans.
I mean, can you really believe that we've got 40 Republican senators and we're struggling to get 20, 25, 26 votes? I mean, it's unbelievable to me. It's just unbelievable. And you got your senator leader of the Senate pro tem, Rod Bray, basically going around yesterday threatening people that were wavering that might vote for this with stripping them of their committee assignments. The hell is that?
Politics.
Yeah. I mean, you got to be kidding me. And so some of them, and so for the guy that's look, we're threatening him too, because we're going to primary every last one of these people, every last one of them. Ryan, word of advice: you're not going to be able to get Brian in the shot. Just focus on us three, and he'll do audio only. I mean, what is the deal with these people, Cheryl?
I think they've gone rogue, and Rod Bray is a third generation sitting there. His grandpa, his dad,
right.
And now himself, and they think they're God with a little G, and they think they're in control. They are not. I am so offended that they have never let my representative even vote on this. They did a secret ballot. They didn't tell them the count. They did a hand count. They didn't tell them the count. And now we're sitting here now. And this is ridiculous. We should not have to be sitting here with 40 senators and you have this much opposition, and I take it personal, it's against our president. And I'm offended by it because he is our president.
All
You're
right.
disrespecting.
It's unbelievable to me that you're worried about a committee assignment when we're trying to save America. I just can't believe this. And the other thing that's infuriating to me is the leverage that this Rod Bray is trying to put on these senators, threatening them with stripping their committee assignments, when I thought this was Indiana nice. Now, it's one thing for us that are not from here to say, you vote no and we will turf you out. We're not from here. I live in Washington, D.C. This is a Washington play. But they're running around telling me, we're Indiana nice. We're all so nice. We all love it. So we love the Democrats. They're people too. They're nice. And the Senator Segura, whatever his name is, Chinora, the Democrat, he asks good questions and he's nice. We all want to get along. And when it's all over, we're going to go roast marshmallows. And then you're in there threatening their committee assignments. Okay, so you're full of crap. The whole thing, the hypocrisy that's going on here, right? Now, it's one thing for us to say, okay, vote no. I guess you don't like being in the state Senate. You find another line of work because we're going to primary your asses out and spend, I don't know, couple $3 million a piece. Because we have $1.2 billion, MAGA Inc., and you don't. You don't have anywhere near that. And so that's what's going to happen. That's one thing. But that's Washington, where I'm from. But to sit there and tell me about Indiana nice and then you sitting there and threatening your own members with committee assignment strippings, how does that work?
Well, obviously
Brian.
It doesn't. It absolutely does not work, because the majority of people that are grassroots, they are too busy just going through the motions. They're working hard. They're trying to pay their bills. And they don't have time to pay attention to all the politics and everything else and to keep these politicians accountable. Now, this is regardless of party. They have stomped over all of our rights. They ignore our petitions. They will not return our phone calls. And this is what's absolutely disgusting is the majority of the grievances from the Bill of Rights that were filed when this country started are the exact same things that we are getting from our elected officials. We're fighting the same battles. But now, they put a title on it and we're fighting a uniparty. We're fighting the corruption. We're fighting the indifference from our own Republican Party, the establishment bunch, the uniparty, and we're fighting the absolute lunatics that are on the left at the same time.
Well, you saw that Monday. No, I wasn't there yesterday, but I assume you're going to get the same, 350 people in the rotunda today or 400. I saw the buses there. They're bussing them in.
Yes,
There's not a single. I interviewed probably 20 of them, and I'm always polite, right? I'm a gentleman, so I'm not there to do gotcha, catch you. But I'm just like, hey, why are you here? Who are you affiliated with? Nobody said to me, well, I'm just pissed. So I got in my car and drove 3 hours and took the day off. Everybody was like AFL-CIO, my union, my teachers union, some organization, bunch from Planned Parenthood. So what they paid them for these are like paid protesters. And you see some of the signs they were holding up, just vile stuff.
Didn't Rush call it rent-a-mob?
It's rent-a-mob, but they're nasty people. I mean, they're just they are nasty. And like I don't want to think that we understand what we're fighting. And that's why we're losing, right? That's why we're losing all these seats in Georgia and this and that, because we don't understand the motivation that they have right now. We're on the sidelines going to work. Oh, there's a special, what's that? They're out there knocking on doors, early voting, getting in mail ballots. And that's how they won Miami. They got a mayor of Miami with a 20% turnout, and they turned out 80% of their early vote base. You can't win if you continue to let them do that. You simply can't win, right? All right, we got another guest on, but you guys hang with us. We've got Ken Colbert. They banned him from the Republican Party of Indiana. I like that. Cheryl Smith, she's been censored. She can't go even. Can you even go in there? Did they let you in the General Assembly?
We did. I spoke it on
Oh, that's
Monday.
right. You
I
spoke.
did.
But she can't run for anything for how long?
Neither one of us can.
5
5
years.
years.
And then Brian Pease is the Indiana Freedom Caucus chairman. We'll all be right back. Stay with us.
I didn't.
We're back in Rhino land. Oh my goodness, we're outside the Indianapolis State Capitol where we got one yes vote that went to Florida. This is unbelievable. We're going to go through some of these names, have some fun. Ken Colbert is with us, Republican, not in good standing. They threw him out because he didn't like one of his representatives was criticizing on his podcast. Out. And then we got Cheryl Smith, who got thrown out and banned for 5 years because, unfortunately, I would have banned her too because she decided to run against a Republican in the general election as an independent. Well, you can't do that. You run in the primary, that's fine. But as soon as you file as an independent, I'd have thrown her out also, but I still love you. And then we have Brian Pease, who is the Indiana Freedom Caucus chairman that is doing Freedom Caucus grassroots work at the precinct and delegate level, which I love because the delegates they got and that Ken and Cheryl got, if you don't know the story, they elected our lieutenant governor here in Indiana, Micah Beckwith, at a convention. And the way it's been done in Indiana, this is the way we do it in Indiana. We've been doing it this way for 90 years, is the governor just simply handpicks the lieutenant governor and they have the convention and they just ratify that. Nobody else does anything. Well, Micah Beckwith decided he was going to upset the apple cart, run in a convention against Governor Braun's handpicked candidate, whoever that was, don't know, don't care. And no, everybody said, we can't do that. It's not the way we do things here. It's not the Indiana way. But these guys got the delegates for him. And how many people did you bring up in a van? 12?
12. Wait, 12.
12, but they couldn't go because they were banned. So they had to go to Panera's Bread. Even though you ran as an independent, I still want you in the foxhole with me. Not who's this guy that went to Florida, sitting at the beach now? Who's this guy? Ryan somebody. Look, we got Michael Letts on. I told Christine we couldn't do Michael today because we have guests in here. So tell Michael, see him another day, Tyler, please. So, okay. Put this guy back up, Tyler, that went to Florida, Ryan Mish, for those that just joined us, Tyler. So Ryan Mishler is a yes vote. We need 25 to get to 26, to get to 23, to get 2 votes. It's a long story. But the guy goes to Florida, and he's not going to be here with the vote. And so I need you to call his office and tell him to get on a plane and get back up here. The State Senator Ryan Mishler, 800-382-9467, 800-382-9467. Now we got a lot of other people here that we got to get moving. Cheryl, how do we get today? We need to get to 25. Before we get to 26, you got to get to 25. And we got 2 votes who said, if you get to 23, you've got me. So 23 gets you 25. But right now we only got 22 committed. How do we get 23 to get to 25 and then 26? Cheryl.
Well, I'm not positive how we're going to do that if they keep leaving the building. So, and I understand that this particular one, he actually stays there about 6 months out of the year. So I don't understand that either.
Stays out where? Florida?
Florida.
I think he has a home there. So I'm not sure, but we have to look. The president sent the vice president here twice. We've had, and then the president took some of our senators and reps up to Washington, D.C., had a talking with them there. You just have these, first of all, RINO stands for Republican
In name only.
in name only. And so that's what we have. We have half of our Senate that's exactly that. And I don't, short of dragging them there, I really don't know how we're going to do it. I mean, I've been saying, Lord, if this is what you want, let's get, make it happen.
I mean, right now the bottom line is the vote is today. We don't have the votes.
That's what you're telling
I
me.
mean, that's what we don't have. So let's go through some of these names. Tell me about them that are maybes, that are not counted in our 22, actually 23. But the guy went to fly. It just infuriates me. Buchanan, who's that?
I'm not familiar with that particular one. Buchanan, no.
Two guys that name starts with D. How do I say those?
Doriot
and Durnick.
Durnick.
What's the deal on them?
Well, they're riding the fence because if they take a position either yes or no, they're concerned about either getting primaried. So I think they're just riding the fence. I think they're pretty solid. I think eventually when they'll get down to the point, they'll vote yes. So that gets us closer to that magic number.
Stacey Donato, I believe she's going to vote yes. She voted yes to get it out of committee. She was very, very detailed in making sure that everybody knew that this was not her final vote, yada, 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 blah, 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 whatever, Stacey. But I believe she'll vote with us. Greg Good, what do you guys know about him?
Well, he was appointed to his position, as an elected official. He rallied the troops up in Terre Haute, is where he's from, and people basically were in the position that they did not want redistricting. So I think there's a lot of pressure going on with the Trump campaign to force him to say yes. He's on a lot of committees that Bray has appointed him onto. So right now there's a tug of war taking place. But I think ultimately he will say yes.
I agree with you. He voted yes to get it out of committee. That's how we got the 6-3 vote. But he also made the caveat that this was not his final vote, and he wanted to vet it and have debate, yada, yada, yada. So I feel good about that. This other gentleman, how do I say his name?
Durnick?
Yeah, Durnick. What's up with him? Who's that? You guys know him?
I'm not familiar with him. I think he's from the northern part of the state. We're primarily from Southwest Indiana, so we know those people a little bit better.
All right, Rogers is going to vote for us. She voted out of committee with the same, disclaimer or something. But if you voted this thing out of committee, I don't know how you could then turn around and vote no. When you voted out of committee and now you're going to vote no, I mean, you just open yourself up for massive targeting, because now you're like, well, you voted out of committee, but now you vote no. Like, what the hell's that about? Then you feel like you got scared or pressured. So I think she's a yes vote. I would count her in. And Niemeyer is the guy. And I talked to Senator Niemeyer, and he took my call. A lot of these people didn't because they're scared. Media and whatever. They're not savvy enough. So, but he took my call, and I talked to him for a good 20 minutes. Nice guy. I liked him a lot. And but he was totally non-committal. And he gave me both sides of what he was grappling with. Like, he was able to articulate for me why it was a good idea and why it was a bad idea. Mm-hmm. And he said, I just haven't made my mind up, and I got a couple of days to do that. I'm going to, hear what people have to say, etc. But then his cousin is running for Congress against one of the Democrats. And certainly if this redistricting happens, his cousin will likely, if he is the nominee, win. So I'm like, well, what about your cousin? You gonna just throw him under the bus? I actually asked him that. And he said, well, my cousin's a really nice guy. We get along, but we don't agree on everything. So that was his answer. So I don't know what he's going to do. I think he'll vote with us. Zay is with us. Mike Young is an absolute warrior. Yes. He's a beast. That's a guy I want with us. Schmidt, 100% with us. And you go down the line. Garton, another 10. You guys got, for every RINO here, you got warriors, right?
Well, Schmidt. Then you're going to get to Tom's. They're Southern Indiana. But
Tom's, solid.
And but
Vanetta Becker.
Yes, which is she is.
She's a no. She's an adamant no. We've called, we've emailed, we even filled out the form to speak to her when we were up here on Monday during the Senate hearings.
How many times does she vote with the Democrats?
73%. She votes consistently.
Oh, she's not even a Republican.
44 years.
Oh,
44 years.
Oh, is that the older lady?
Yes.
Yes, with the walker. That's right.
Yeah. So that's like basically my grandma for Senate.
Right.
I mean, it's at some point, don't you want to go spend time with your grandkids or something?
She says it's her constituents that want her to vote that way, yet she's right by where my rep sits.
How old is she? Is she not-
81.
But the problem is, she received, like many, a variety of letters and postcards. And the majority of them, as Senator Young pointed out, a great many of them were postmarked out of Pennsylvania. They are using valid names, but all the signatures are very similar. All the handwriting on them are similar.
Unbelievable.
And they're getting all of this propaganda from the Democrat Party. And this is her argument, or at least what she's been told is
Mhm.
the argument.
Mhm.
It's truly pathetic. I mean, you call, you email, you call them, you call their legislative assistants, and they will not reply. This is why these
That
people,
is a Republican in bad standing.
these
Yes.
people have to go.
I mean, 81
There's no
years old. I
transparency.
mean, just like,
well,
come on, like just go do something else.
Yeah, but here's a side note, John. Nobody is adding up, accruing all of their when they're in session or not. They don't take attendance. We don't know when they're actually attending the Senate, the individual committees, or not. Nobody keeps track of that. So we don't know if they're actually at their job or not half the time, unless they do a roll call vote on particular legislation. They don't take the roll call on committees either. You'll get maybe a 6-2 verdict. There's supposed to be 10 people on the committee, and they don't put the names, and they don't tell you who's absent.
Now we got to go. We're going to be right back. Alexander, is he solid?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, okay. We got a lot of names here, but the ones we got to work on, the ones I'm not concerned about. Great Good, I think he's going to vote with us. Niemeyer, we got to get him, and Doriet and Dernlick, we got to get them. But the bottom line is we got to get to 23 today. We get to 23, we'll get to 25. You get to 25, we're right there. We'll be right back.
All these same handwriting.
All right, you're back on Outside the Beltway. I'm John Fredericks, your blowtorch of free speech in America, your oracle of the deplorables. I want to thank you for being with us live in the state capitol in Indiana, home of the RINOs. We need 26 votes. Ryan, what's my favorite number? 26, baby. I love that number forever. That'll be my favorite number. We got to get to 26. Right now, I got 22. But we could have 24. If we got 23, we could get 25. Because two people said if you get to 23, I'll vote yes. That's 25. We had 23. And then, what's his name, decided to go to Florida and play basketball. What's his name?
Ryan.
The guy that Ryan
Michler.
You got to call him up. Look, I'm all for seeing your son play basketball. I follow my son playing baseball with University of Maryland all over the country. So I get it. I've been doing it since he's 10. Like, dude, I get it, right? I mean, I go to all the tournaments. I never missed a game. I go travel. They're going to UCLA. I'm going there. I get it. But you gotta come here and vote. Otherwise, don't be in the state Senate. Like, just go to Florida. We're good. Okay? Don't give up your seat and go. But in the meantime, you're here representing your people, and this is the most important vote you're ever going to take in Indiana to save the country, and you're off vacationing in Florida, and you don't want to come back for a day. I just find this to be incredible. I mean, I can't get over this. And I'm calling on Joe Gruder, as chairman of the RNC, charter him a plane. Do something. Charter him a plane. Wherever town he's in, there'll be an FBO 5 minutes away. You lift there, you get on your charter, get a cup of coffee, go on your phone, take a little nap, drop off right at the FBO there in Indy. Come on, check in, vote, hit the button, put in your card, then go back on your plane and leave, go to Florida, have a great life. I care less. Come up here and vote. And why the RNC is not just chartering him a plane. Oh, I can't get a flight. Oh, I can't. They're charter him a plane. What's the difference? Save America. Do something. Strategic doers. Action, action, action. Speaking of action, are you guys warm in here? Toasty, isn't it? Right? You're outside, you're cold, now you're here. See that heater there? That's my Gen 40 heater. You guys need that in Indiana. I got so many of those. I'm in DC. We haven't Pittsburgh before that. 2 years we haven't put the heat on. I'm up in this hotel room here at the Residence Inn. I bring one right up there. I've been here 2 weeks. I've yet to put the heat on in the room. I don't want that heat blowing on me at night. Oh, I got my Gen 40 infrared heater. It's up to 1,000 square feet. Best thing ever. We got the heat here on 67, but we got our Gen 40 heater. We're good to go. Now, the Gen 40 infrared heater, I'm going to save you $50, Ryan. It's out of the goodness of our heart. All you have to do is go to EdenPureDeals.com, EdenPureDeals.com, promo code Godzilla 50. Put in the 50, save you $50. $174 is all this is going to take, and you're going to be able to heat your room up to 1,000 feet. And get this, you're going to save what you paid for it in 3 months on your lower heat bills, because this thing is amazing. I've got, how many do we have of these? 6, 1 at the office, 2 on the bus, 3 at home. That's 5. Jack's got 1. Claire's got 1. Joe's got 1. We all got 1. It's healthier too. Go to EdenPureDeals.com. Sammy's got his own one of these. He sleeps right in front of it. Put this thing on, out like a light, because it's safe for animals. If he knocks it over, automatically turns off. Best thing ever. But I haven't seen my cat in 2 weeks, so I don't know what the hell he's doing in there with mom. 888-480, John, you want to weigh in? 888-480-5646. EdenPureDeals.com. Godzilla 50, and you save $50. I'm sorry, $50 off. Okay. We got another couple of minutes here with Ken, Cheryl, and Brian. So, Ken and Cheryl, if we're going to get no votes, I'm confident at the end of the day we're going to get to 26 if we can get Mishler back here. What are you guys going to do after that?
We're going to concentrate on the no votes, and we're going to work with TPUSA, and we're going to primary these individuals because they are not representing Hoosier values about what we want. We're very adamant about this. We're going to make some changes within the Republican Party.
Define changes.
Getting candidates that are going to represent the will of the people and listen to their constituents, because consistently the local party is what they're doing is have hand-picked individuals that are sometimes representing Hoosiers and most of the time are not. So this has actually been very telling to see how these people are coming forward and voting when their constituents are telling them to vote yes and they're voting no. So we're going to primary them. We're going to run people in the different districts through our not-for-profit to identify them, get them vetted, get them introduced to the public, and get them over the finish line.
We also have a problem in that they are putting state reps, state senators, anybody that serves on the city council, the county council, they put them in those positions instead of we the people that are grassroots people. They put the elected officials.
Who's they?
Are
County chairmen. Republican county chairmen.
But the county chairmen are elected in a convention, right? That you guys are trying to influence. So wouldn't it be your goal, Brian, as you get these delegates and precinct chairs, to get control of the delegates in the counties to elect county chairmen that are more akin to our way of thinking, America First MAGA?
Absolutely. And that's what we were working on. That's what we did at the last one. As a matter of fact, it was so close, within 8 or 9 votes. We could have had half of our local, our county positions on the central committee position, leadership positions. We could have had half. We were that close to having half of that group so that we could have that influence.
When is the next opportunity you're going to have? The next
they only have that every 4 years. So
you were very close.
Yes.
But now you've had another 4 years to keep building.
Yes, but that's the thing, is getting more people involved, getting them vetted, if you will, make sure they are truly genuine, and getting them in line as far as getting these PC positions and getting the delegates, getting people to sign up and run for delegate, because that's going to be this coming year.
That's right.
Right in the spring in the primary. And we need delegates.
When is your primary?
Pardon?
They don't give us
So
that.
are your primaries, are they convention or they open? Is it a closed primary open? Explain that.
Well, the primary, it's open.
For
It
nominating primaries.
correct. This is for delegate.
Right.
And it's, of course, the public votes on this. And they declare their party when they vote. And of course, they vote for the delegates to represent them at the state level. And this would be the state convention.
So the delegates, your delegates to the conventions
Correct.
are on the ballot.
Yes.
So they're elected positions.
Yes.
Correct.
I think that's like when I was in New Jersey, when I grew up there, that's how they did it there. Like if you wanted to be, committee chairman or committee something, you actually ran in that precinct. So you guys got to run all these little mini races,
We do.
Yes.
In Vandenberg
which
County,
you should have you
I want
should
to-
have an edge
I
in
want you to.
because nobody really wants to do that.
Well, that's true. But you have an establishment group
Right.
that they want to maintain control.
Right.
So I want Ken to really explain this, but the fact is we are at a disadvantage because we are guided by the rules, and
Right.
we have to get people in that where they live to be the
Right.
precinct. Whereas a county chairman can put somebody from across the creek that doesn't care about where they're represented.
Or including a
they're just
Democrat.
doing it to
Yeah,
basically
go ahead.
control. Well, okay, Indiana is so red. It voted for Trump like 62-38 or something. So it's very, very red. You got 40 out of 50 state senators, 70 out of 100 representatives, 7 out of 9 Congress. You got a conservative MAGA governor, a conservative MAGA lieutenant governor. Why do we have all these rhinos here? Like, how does this happen?
it's actually by design, because the state of Indiana, they're not supporting of Trump. The people that are in these leadership roles, we see this. The people feel differently. You can see it at the voting booth, where we're supporting Trump's and America First agenda, but the people currently controlling the Republican Party in the state of Indiana are not advocates of Donald Trump's initiatives. And we don't like this. And that's why we're tipping this and putting people that are going to represent the true Hoosiers in the state of Indiana.
Okay, so yesterday, President Trump rolls out his golden visa, right? Which is, if you want to come here as a foreign national and you want to live in America, you're going to have to invest $1 million to the U.S. Treasury. And the way President Trump said this is, this gets rid of chain migration. This gets rid of the nonsense. And if somebody's going to spend $1 million, they're vested in the country's success, right? It's a lot of money. This goes in line with what I thought was his best idea on H-1B visas, which is if a company is going to sponsor somebody on an H-1B visa, they have to spend $100,000. That if they do that not per company but per person, that truly then ensures a company's only going to do that if that is a specific skill they need and can't get somewhere else, and they can't import the H-1B visas in for cheap labor, which how they've scammed the system for 5 decades, right? So what are you guys' thoughts on that? I'll start with Brian Peace.
Well, I mean, it is the incentive. It's saying that, listen, you're coming here. What are you adding to our country? What are you bringing along to contribute to the game here? All right. The intellect, the skills, and all of those things. But how dedicated, how committed are you actually to this position, this country, and what's best for it? This is a way to demonstrate that.
I mean, I think it's the most brilliant idea it's had, because it's not closing off visa migration, but if you've got $1 million, first of all, it helps the country, right? Because you have to invest in the U.S. Treasury, but it ensures you're not going to get the scammers and you're not going to get chain migration, which is one person comes and then their whole family's here. Now, if you look at the Somalian situation, right? Look at it right now. So they just put this report out. Of the 80,000 Somalians that came here, right? There's 80,000 that here, they're all registered to vote. They all became whatever citizens, okay? 87% of them are on welfare.
Yes.
87%. 13% aren't. 87% have some form of welfare. So basically they came here, they stole what, $10 billion, and then they're all on welfare. So they come here, that they don't bother to work. We give them food stamps, we give them cash money for for welfare, housing. They don't assimilate in. They don't speak English. They don't care. They come here to get money. I mean, it's unbelievable. You can't sustain that. And then they vote for the Democrats that are continuing to give them money and let them steal it.
Exactly.
How does a country survive with this, Ken?
Well, you can't. I mean, because you're dealing with all this subsidy that we as taxpayers are going to have to support. Like in Evansville, ours is not Somalians. We have Haitians that have allowed to become down there, and they're partnering with the NGOs. And we, the people that are working, Americans that are supporting it through taxes, are facilitating this. And then President Trump's initiative to remove these people from our country, I support this, and we want to help in that endeavor. They're taking a lot of the jobs that are currently being made available. It's all facilitated.
You want to give the final word?
I just wanted to say something.
Go ahead.
Ever since LBJ and the Great Society stuff, all right, it's using the tactics. I'm quite honestly, the Democrat Party are using the tactics of a drug pusher. They're getting them addicted to government assistance, and then coercing them through that control to vote for them consistently. And so you have this generational victimhood that has culminated to almost a tipping point of where the majority of hardworking people have had absolutely enough of this.
So you come here from Somalia, you don't assimilate in the country, you don't care about our values, you immediately come here, you become a citizen, you scam that system, you register to vote, you vote for Democrats, 80,000 voters all vote the same way, and you vote for the Democrats that are going to give you money, welfare, food stamps, and housing. So you vote for them to keep giving you money, and then you vote for Omar, and then you get other friends here that steal $10 billion, and the Democrats look the other way because you're voting them in and they're stealing your money, but they don't care because they have power. This is not sustainable. All right. I want to thank our guests, Ken Colbert, Cheryl Smith, Brian Peace. Guys, thank you for being with us. Thank you. It's been a tremendous segment. Don't forget, we're going to be right back. We got Michael Let's coming up and others, but the main thing is we got to get, what's my favorite number, Ryan? I need 26 votes. Let's go. Thanks, guys, for being with us.
Thank you.
Great job. We're going to be right back. Stay with us.